What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 31 of Battle Talk. Got a pretty good show for everybody tonight. Lots of World of Warcraft and Heroes of the Storm news tonight to talk about. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me, as usual, are... First off, this guy.
This guy over here.
This guy over here.
This guy over here. Put a fucking loaf of bread in your fucking mouth.
No washing machine in the background anymore?
No washing machine.
That's good.
Just cat.
So what's up, Dom?
Not a whole lot. Just chilling here in the rain.
In the rain. That
In the
sounds
rain.
like fun. In Zagara.
It's always fun.
Oh, God. I just turned around and saw who I'm introducing next here. Back after a 1-week hiatus, the other usual suspect, Cody.
Can I get an O-H?
No.
Ow!
No, you really can't. Ohio sucks.
Apparently we don't. We just kicked the shit out of Oregon.
No, I meant Ohio the state, actually.
Oh, that's true.
Sucks. I've been there.
That's true. Okay, I guess I'll come back.
Really? Your hair is bleeding into your green screen. Oh my God, Cody. So what's up?
Nothing. You need to squish my picture more because it doesn't really make any sense, but it'll work. It'll work for now.
So like I said, we got a lot of fun stuff. I don't know what the hell these guys are doing to me tonight. This is just going all sorts of terrible directions. So, today, closed beta started for Heroes of the Storm, if you even remotely pay attention to Twitter. And, pretty smooth release, launch of it, and as far as I could tell, servers are stable. It was up before every one of...
Yeah, it was up
games.
before Warcraft. I'm like, oh, that's saying a lot.
Yeah. Have you guys gotten to play it at all today?
Dom, you're muted with a doggy behind you.
There's a what?
I hate that dog.
Oh,
Laughs at me.
it's the duck hunt dog.
Everybody hates the Duck Hunt dog.
Yeah, even I got on and played some Heroes today.
Which is shocking because, yeah, you never do.
And Mike didn't even invite me to a match.
Well, I'm sorry if our schedules didn't coincide. They've been torturing me, both of them.
Cody, has he invited you for a match?
No, and I was on all day.
No, you weren't.
What's two?
You were not on Heroes. all day.
Ask Dom.
He was.
So
Yeah.
So, release
You
today.
unfriend.
I'm not unfriendly.
I didn't say you were unfriendly. I just said unfriend.
No, well, fine, be that way. Released today with the closed beta were a couple of fun things. First off, new hero, Thrall.
Wait a minute. What did you just say?
What did I say?
What do you think he said?
Also, along with the release, a couple of fun
You guys
things.
have got me flustered tonight, both
Fun
of you.
things. It's fun things. You totally said something different.
Fun things. I'm going to watch this recording later, and I'm going to prove you wrong. Thrall has been released and is available for play, as usual. He's purchasable for $10 or 15,000 gold, and he's a fun one. Cody, you've played him, haven't you?
I got a chance to play him at BlizzCon this past year.
So did I.
And he is... Next to Chen, he is probably my next favorite hero. Just because, they say he's a melee assassin, which, to those who don't play Heroes of the Storm, there's different classes. Well, he's melee. But I like to say he's melee with a twist, because he's not really just melee. Yeah, he's got, he can swing his hammer and beat on you that way. But the twist is that he's got an ability called Chain Lightning, which is a ranged attack. So you can literally jump into a group, start wailing on people, get them down so low that they want to run, and then hit your Q, which is Chain Lightning, while they're like, I don't know, a couple yards away, or out of melee, let's say, and you kill them. So it's melee with a twist.
Yeah, melee with a twist. And Thrall's been in pretty much every game I've played today. One Thrall on both teams, I might add. And he is kind of entertaining. I haven't gotten the chance to play him since he was released today, but I did get a couple games in at BlizzCon, and he is a lot of fun. I think right now he's a little too strong.
Well, I mean that's pretty typical with new heroes coming out every and not just to say this for heroes. Same thing happens in League of Legends. Same thing happens in Dota 2. They're always going to release a hero. Like a brand new hero is always going to come out and he's going to be always overtuned and overpowered compared to those heroes that have been in for a while, that have been reworked, nerfed, and stuff like that. So they're going to feel overpowered. That's just so they can look at it and go, okay, now we can draw back. We can draw back Chain Lightning from doing so much damage. We can draw, Feral Spirits back a little bit from doing so much damage, or, decrease the distance that it travels, stuff like that. It's a lot easier to draw back than it is to add. So if you already make them overpowered, you already know what you're looking for when you have to go back and, nerf them just a little bit.
Right, exactly. And personally, I think the thing that might need nerfing is his passive heal, which is after X amount of special ability usage. Yeah, every 5 abilities, he automatically heals himself for a pretty decent chunk. Couple that with a support. Lili was reworked recently, had some buffs and changes to her. I played against a Thrall and a Lili combo today, and there was nothing anybody can do. Thrall was tanky, he did a ton of damage, and you couldn't get away from him.
I mean, that heal is pretty powerful because, even when you and I were playing at BlizzCon, you were playing the Lost Vikings, who's not in the game yet, which I kind of was hoping that they would release him with closed beta as well, but they didn't. But you had come down to help me capture, a tower on the new map that was just released in beta as well, Sky Temple, and I was getting healed, but I didn't realize what Thrall's passive was. Every 5 abilities, you get a sudden heal. So I was thinking that you were healing me, and that heal was doing a lot to me as far as keeping me alive. I was like, oh, okay, well that's a little OP because I was at half health and now I'm back to like almost full after one heal.
Right. I guess the downside to that is when Thrall runs out of mana, he's useless.
Yeah,
everybody's useless when they run out of mana. Dom, who'd you get to play today, if anybody?
I only have purchased one character so far, and that was Jaina, because I got her when I bought the bundle last time on Battle Talk, which was just before Christmas. That was the last time I logged into Heroes. So I was playing Jaina out. I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I get where she's super squishy. I don't particularly care for that. It's not my gameplay style. So I got her. I played 3 matches. I did the tutorial today, got the 3 matches in, whatever. I got her, so she's got all her talents. I haven't played a match since she got all her talents or whatever, but I just found like if I got cornered by 2 characters and at full health, that I got smashed really quickly. So not a very, very big fan of her.
Right.
I probably enjoy her a little bit more in group play where I could sit back and stay behind my team a little bit better, but in just random groupings, she was just the team would run off and I'd be left alone, and it was awful. But it seemed every single match I was playing had Thrall in it. Couldn't get away from Thrall.
Well, yeah, it's the new hero.
So,
it's just going to be the way of things for the next couple days. It'll eventually even itself out, but
Yeah. People
Thrall,
just
and I think you ran across the same combination. Thrall and Lili was like the 2 of them would run around together in every match that I was doing. So I don't know if that's like the new big power combo.
I don't know if it's going to be the new big power combo, but it is definitely a pretty good combo to run right now.
It'll just be like a good power combo, right now until Thrall gets balanced correctly. Right now it may be that good combo to have. Even Brightwing may be a good healer to have on him, or even Malfurion, but that's just because I think Lili just got reworked and buffed a little bit in the healing department. So having her and Thrall kind of makes sense. But once Thrall comes down and his heal gets a little nerfed, it probably won't really matter. That combo will probably go away.
Right. And as far as Jaina goes, she's got some decent wave clear, but
Jaina's wave clear is not decent.
all right, it
is freaking
astoundingly
amazing.
Good. And
Come
her slow,
mid-game.
especially if you go the slow build where you buff its duration and even buff its power, it's really good and really annoying. But the problem is if you're alone in a lane, you have to be a little extra aware of your surroundings and where all of your enemies are, because you don't have that quick escape. You don't have, any kind of dash or leap or hard stun. You just got your slows. And while, yes, they're great for chasing people down and just annoying them, they're not
really
exactly
good for escape.
amazing for you getting away really quick.
Yeah. It'd be nice if she had like an
some
ability
kind of
for...
blink or something, Just
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
something
But
to
I
get
don't
out of
know. I'd have to go back and look at her talents, because I'm not sure if Blink is one of her ones that she can pick later in the game or later in the levels. But even then, you take Blink. If she does have Blink, I'm not 100% sure. What are you giving up to grab that escape?
Right, and by that stage of the game, you shouldn't be alone in the first place anymore. So
sticking together. So
yeah. Another couple big reworks today added in there were Falstad was one. He got an ult replacement, a couple of talents rebalanced. His W was completely reworked, so instead of passively shocking people and activating it to just shock the nearby targets, you target somebody, zap them, and as long as you stay within a pretty fair range of them, you'll keep zapping them over the course of 4 seconds. And there's talents to buff that damage, add 2 more zaps to it. There's something else to do with it that I can't quite remember. A new talent that increases the range of his hammer throw. That's a level 1 talent. It's actually kind of fun because he just pitches that thing out there. Extra auto attack damage while his hammer is in flight, and his new ultimate is a gust of wind. You just, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. You just activate it, and this big wall of wind just goes whoosh, rushing by, pushing everybody with it and slowing them by 60% for a few seconds.
That reminds me of Brightwing's ult, almost.
Yeah. Whereas Brightwings is just like a shockwave from her. This is a directed, targeted, big.
It's kind of a different take on their ability, or her ability, his ability.
Why did Thrall have to cost 15,000 gold?
I am seriously upset about that. Every new hero that has come out has been 10 to 12k gold, I believe. I don't think I've ever seen anything past 10.
Jaina was 15 when she came out.
Was she?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember because I paid money for her. I paid money for her just to get the bundle. So, and it's even to look at. Yeah, I'm bitching and complaining about like the price of gold for Thrall and stuff like that. But inevitably, I'm going to buy him with money just because I want the skin that comes with Thrall. Because Hellhammer, is that what it is? Hellhammer Thrall is sick looking, and if you don't buy that bundle just for that skin, what's wrong with you? That skin is amazing, and like I said, 15k, it's a little high, and the only reason I think it's a little high is because I still think the gold gain for the game is still a little low.
Yeah, it's still.
I still think it could be tweaked just a little bit more.
It might be tweaked between now and release, mind you. This is closed. I mean, they had alpha
still
out for how many
beta,
months?
so.
Now beta just started today, so plenty of time.
We'll get the skins a little bit because the Hellhammer skins.
We have a whole list of skins to talk about in a little bit. Just want to get through the.
They did add the ability. Daily quests have been a big thing for Hearthstone, and now your Warcraft. They're bringing it all pretty much for all their games essentially, and everyone had complained. When Tech Alpha came out, they're like, well, we can only complete dailies in versus mode. Well, no one wants to play versus mode because all the tryhards. Then they're like, okay, well, we'll go ahead and allow you to do it in co-op, which is a team of players versus a team of bots. and had tweaked the gold or for the quests down. They nerfed it a little bit and stuff like that. Well, now with closed beta and full swing starting today, they actually added in another way to complete your dailies, and that is to go into practice mode.
Right.
Now they didn't nerf your gold income from it, so you're still getting the same amount of gold if you were to do it in, say, co-op. But this time you can play you and bots versus another team of bots. You don't have, which doesn't make really much sense to me, anyways. Because I think co-op, you're not really having tryhards in your team because you're playing bots, so you're just screwing around
still
anyways.
Gonna have them on your team. They're gonna be there. But
I haven't. Since I've been playing,
we gotta go, Cody. We gotta move this along here.
It's been fine.
Yeah.
No tryhards.
Anyway, other major rework today was Abathur on top of Falstad. His changes are a little, balancy. Things got moved around a bit. The big talk is he has another ultimate now on top of his, what the hell is it called? Ultimate Evolution, which got nerfed, by the way. That no longer allows you to use the copied hero's ultimate. So, not as good. I mean, you won't get double, triple tapped by Novas anymore. Thank God. But his other ultimate now will transform a lane minion or one of his locusts into a monstrosity. It looks like a Abathur on crack. Really does. It's pretty good. And that he will push with the lane he's in, and every time he gets a kill, he will heal himself and gain health. Not health. He will heal himself. I don't know if he gains max health, but he gains maximum damage, and that stacks up to 30 times. So if you clear a nice big wave of minions with that, that thing's going to be hitting pretty hard. Also, if you symbiote it, you will gain full control over it. So, fun stuff. And didn't they say, Cody, when we were talking to a couple of them at BlizzCon, a couple of the CMs, that they were trying to figure out a new ultimate for Abathur and having trouble with that?
Yeah, we talked to Trixler and Spirian and Catalyst. Catalyst. Yeah, I'm sorry if I butchered that name. I'm never going to get a follow from her now. And we were talked about Abathur, and how I hate going into a game with an Abathur on my team because I feel like I'm getting shorted on team fights. And they had brought up, the fact that they're trying to rework his ultimates to better help in team fights. And from what I've seen with this rework on Abathur, that completely is going to help out immensely. Just because the fact that, you're going to pull pop your ult on, say I'm playing Chen, you pop your ultimate on me to copy me. Well, if I've got a Vala next to me, I just got another Vala now too.
Right.
So now I've got two Valas and I've got two Chen. So now I've got two roots with my Chen, and now I've got two massive damage dealers in Vala. So it totally works out in team fights. It totally, and if Vala starts running away, or if I run, or he moves away from me with Chen, then that second Vala goes away. So I mean, it's still balanced in a sense. It'll probably still need to be reworked, just because essentially them reworking, Abathur and Falstad, they're overpowered, and then they're going to roll them back a little bit. So this may, they may decrease the range or increase the range that you have to have in order for the second, copy to go away and stuff like that.
I don't know how overpowered Abathur is right now. Level 20, he gets a nest that is stationary, will spawn locusts, and it'll do so for the rest of the game until it's found and killed, or you place a new one. And he gets double symbiote, which is, everybody knows, he possesses or infests an ally, and then can shoot spines from them, shield them, stuff like that. If he does this to a hero, and there's an allied hero in close range, he will infest both of them, and they will both shoot spikes, and it's really fun. I haven't had a chance to play with that as much as I'd like, but
the other character that was on one of the matches that I played was Abathur, and Abathur was fucking things up. I don't remember Abathur being that much of a badass before.
See, yeah, there's...
Depends on who played him for me.
It depends on who plays him, and it depends on how he's built, because...
Yeah.
He did that whole, AoE grabbed in that target area or whatever. It was...
No, that's Zagara.
It was awful.
Oh, yeah,
That's...
Zagara.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
it.
AoE
Okay,
grab.
well, there was definitely Abathur as well, so I'd probably just confuse the two.
Right. Abathur, If
Because
played
Abathur was
right,
like popping around between heroes, and then next thing I knew, Abathur was gone, and there was a big grab, and we were all wrapped in something, and I just assumed that was Abathur.
right, the popular way I saw him played before the beta went live was he would buff, his locusts, get the exploding locust version and the whatever it was called that would spawn 3 of them at your location. You'd burrow in, drop them, and get the hell out of there. And if played right, he could solo take the Bruiser camp, the Knight camp, which is kind of crazy considering Abathur is squishy as hell and doesn't, hits like a wet noodle.
Yeah.
But
Or it dies in like one hit.
he's one of those. I mean, they say he's a very hard to play hero. It's right there on his description. So a bad Abathur will.
I would suggest going into like a co-op or practice with him before you actually go into a quick match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So a couple new skins, as we had mentioned earlier, were released with the beta. And they are as follows: the Hellhammer Thrall skin, which is just amazing.
It's pretty sick
It
looking.
looks pretty sick. Another sick-looking skin is Crypt King Tassadar.
That is probably my new favorite skin. I don't play Tassadar. I'm not a big fan of him, but that skin is amazing.
I have to agree. And
Well,
then-
and I was talking to, I'm going to rant here for a little bit. I was talking to one of my buddies at work, and this whole patch that came out today for closed beta has a very specific theme to it, and it's very Egyptian. And, we'll get to Sky Temple here in a bit, but, with Crypt King Tassadar, it's Anubis. If you haven't seen him, it's pretty much Anubis and an Anubis skin on Tassadar.
Agreed.
And that's the kind of feeling I'm getting from this patch and map, Sky Temple, and then the map that's coming out later called Tomb of the Spider Queen. That's a very Anubarak themed map, also very Egyptian. So I would like to see them come out, when we have content patches. Obviously right now it's 4 to 6 weeks we get a content patch for Heroes of the Storm.
Right.
So 4 to 6 weeks we'll see Lost Vikings in, and hopefully maybe we'll see Tomb of the Spider Queen. Don't know.
That's going to be a bit for another map because they just dropped a new one.
And it may be. And we always saw his concept art and bits and pieces of it at BlizzCon. But it'd be nice for them to, for their big content patches, roll in a theme to them. So we saw the picture of the Hell and Heaven map for Diablo. Well, that patch that releases that map, have it like a Diablo themed content patch and stuff like that. I think it would be really cool and give some sort of theme to their patches that come out.
Right, and that would hopefully be something they do in the future. Other skins, Desert Queen Zagara and the Luxurian Monkey Brightwing skin, which just
it's
utterly ridiculous.
It's creepy.
It's
if you don't like flying monkeys, then you're going to be
It's a
creeped
flying
out.
monkey.
But speaking of another
want
skin,
it.
this skin's not really a new skin. It's more of a rework.
Yeah, it's a rework skin. But
It's,
also in there is a magic carpet mount, which fits in with the whole deserty theme.
I'm
And
gonna buy that and start seeing Arabian Night, or it's a whole new world.
please
A
don't.
whole new world when I go through.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
I'm closing them right now, and we're going to talk about Sky Temple, which was just released. I haven't gotten the chance to play it today, because in 11 games I had 8 Cursed Hollows, 2 Garden of Terrors, and a single Haunted Mines. I hate
that sounds
Cursed
balanced.
Hollow now.
That's why
I'm
you
not a
play
big
with
fan of
bots.
I'm not a big fan of the Plants vs Zombies map.
Garden
That
Terror?
map,
I'm okay with that one. I
I'm
don't like
okay with
Haunted
that
Mines.
map.
I seem to get that more than anything.
Haunted Mines has grown
I got
on
2
me.
of that and one Pirates Cursed Hollow, whatever. Not
That's
Cursed Hollow.
My problem today is so much Cursed Hollow and so many people not knowing what to do, and when you suggest what to properly do, you get told to go fuck yourself.
This is how I fixed that, Phil. I fixed that immensely. I used to be a tryhard when Heroes came out. You know what I did to fix that? I went to co-op.
I should go to co-op until I can
I
get
just
to
started
ranked
playing
one more
co-op.
level until I'm level 30.
And then, when we'll talk about it here in a little bit for ranked play, I won't play with anybody but people I know.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Sky Temple. Egyptian themed, 3 lanes. All the mercenary camps are themed, have different
3
skins.
times?
They're pretty awesome. And there's 3 objective points. I'm pretty sure this hasn't changed. I haven't played the map today.
I think it's still 3.
There's 3 objective points that will activate semi-randomly throughout the match. You capture and hold the point, which will then spawn NPCs to defend it. As long as you hold it and fight them off, the point will fire a gigantic lightning bolt at the nearest enemy base structures. And if you hold it for the full duration, it'll charge up 5 superpowered bolts to just give it a nice little finishing touch.
Yeah,
There's
now
3 of those places to hold, and they can activate 1 at a time, 2 at a, or even 3 at a time. So a lot of fun stuff.
During the early game, I think it's 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 1 that spawns, and in mid game it's 2, and then late game it could be all 3 that spawn that you have to go capture. And when we played it at BlizzCon, these towers are extremely OP, and they can clear a lane pretty quick if you don't go defend them.
Yeah, they're very high value targets and something you do want to get on top of. But otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward map. Another great addition to the lineup, which I love the fact that there are multiple maps in the rotation. Still love that. Also added today were Ranked Play, the first bits of that. Hero League, which is solo queue or with a pre-made party. The pre-made 5-man team ranked mode will come at a later date. And also put in was draft mode, I believe, with that.
Yes.
A complaint I've seen is that there is no swapping after the picks are made, like you would see in League of Legends, Smite, and other games like that. But the counter to that is it took a while for those games to put them in, too. So be patient.
We also got the beta portrait today, too, right?
Yes, if you were
beta portrait's bugged, I heard.
I'm
So
using
no
mine.
one. You got yours? Because
Yeah, I got mine, and
there's a
it's
blue
equipped,
post on it. There's a blue post saying that they were coming.
All right, I got mine today, so it's possible that they were coming in waves or something. Maybe it didn't go out initially. But there's a portrait you get for playing in the beta, and if you were in the alpha previously, if you played a game, you got a portrait, and if you reached level 40, you got a shiny portrait.
I didn't get a shiny portrait.
But that's pretty much everything that's been added into closed beta. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the ranking system. Everybody's going to start off in Hero League, the ranked mode. You're going to start off at rank 50.
That's right, you moved down.
You're going to move down as you progress. Lose enough games, however, and you will regress in rank, though you will never fall below rank 50.
As I say, think Heroes, or think Hearthstone rank system with Heroes.
Yeah. So you start at level 25 and work your way down.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you
is there a legendary mode in there? Like once you get past level 1?
I don't know.
They didn't mention anything.
If there is, it's something that hasn't been announced yet and might be coming in the future. Also, if you happen to leave a game during Hero League or are disconnected, you cannot play another game of Hero League until you complete a quick match game and not disconnect from it. Which is a pretty good
that sounds good.
And if you leave
Screw you, quitters.
Yeah, if you leave a Hero League game during draft mode, it will result in a loss of 300 rank points in addition to the above penalty. Yeah. So, fun stuff. The alpha was a lovely, fine, polished thing, and beta.
I can't believe we're in beta already.
Yeah. Well, it's
almost
been a while.
It's almost been a year. So alpha, came out in March?
April, I think.
March, April, and now we're in closed beta in January. So that's a little under a year of tech alpha, of a very polished game when it hit tech alpha, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Into this. One more plug before we move on. If anybody's interested in Heroes and stuff like that, still tomorrow at 11 a.m. on the Twitch page for Heroes. It is twitch.tv/BlizzHeroes. Uh, Community managers Spirian and Trixler will be running a Brawl with the Blues, where some community members will play a game with Trixler. You can ask questions. Spirian will be in chat. Go ahead and ask any questions that you have. He'll definitely be sure to answer them. I know I've been in chat for all of them and asked questions, and he's pretty quick on it.
Yeah, pretty good with that.
It's really fun. They try to do their best with that show, and I think, with the questions that are getting asked, it's still very good information. And just to see who all in the community is out there, because it's the community is growing, and it's not as toxic as you might think it is. It's
no League of Legends.
It's no League of Legends. It's no Dota. Anything like that. It's a lot better.
Now, is that at 11? Is it 11 a.m. Eastern
Pacific.
or Pacific?
It's 11 Pacific, so 2 p.m. Eastern.
2 p.m. Eastern.
They're fun to watch.
Phil and I may get into a custom game. May. I don't want to say we will, but we may.
There was talk that Trixler is going to invite opposing teams from a chat channel he sets up when that happens. So you may be able to watch us get slaughtered.
Oh no, man! His Illidan ain't got nothing on my chin.
You can watch us get slaughtered.
Pretty much.
I'll tune in for that.
So that's that for Heroes. There's plenty of people streaming it on Twitch right now if you're interested. Plenty of websites you're not streaming it right now.
I will be after the show.
Right. Plenty of places to find info, and if you are in, go play and check it out. It's a lot of
fun. That's the biggest thing. Don't be like me when I first started and be a tryhard. Just go in and have fun.
Exactly what he said. His rage moments.
Make fun of your deaths. Try and make them a joke. Or go play Murky, who just is supposed to die on purpose. And then you have no excuse for dying. So
exactly. Anyway, World of Warcraft. Plenty of stuff happening here. A bunch of hot fixes have gone in. Some class rebalances. All of this is live now. Couple of things of note to mention. All classes, haste is now 11% more effective.
Oh, that's nice.
It's 11.1% more effective because we need
that point one. That point one is very important.
I know, some arbitrary number there. Death Knights get 20% more haste. Frost Death Knights, get 20% haste from all sources. Fire mages get 15% more crit from all sources. Paladins, Prot get 30% more haste. So, just some general buffs. Ooh, Discipline Priest, Power Word Shield, effectiveness reduced by 15%.
I just like the overall.
I am now going to be at the top of the meters.
I just like that overall haste has been increased for all classes.
This is across the board. Haste is better for you no matter what class you play. It still might not be your best stat. Sorry. Yeah. But it is better.
No more of this stupid, Power Word Shield healing that I see this priest in our raid do that keeps, out healing me. Now I could be the top of the meters.
It was very good.
It was incredible.
Needed a bit. It did need some tuning. I'm sorry, Chris. I am so sorry. You can kick my ass later.
Well, I mean, all these, we see all these class hotfixes coming into play and stuff like that. It's really nice. The one I still don't see is Resto Shaman, and it's really still
Shaman straight up all around. I heard are getting a buff, but
they did. Elemental Shaman did get a small, buff early on because Elemental Shamans were in a terrible place.
They were.
I think Enhancement just got their buff.
They got a Storm Strike buff, and that's about it.
But Resto Shaman are still in the dark for their buff because even Resto Shaman are still kind of low on the healing meters compared to everyone else. So I'm not sure exactly what they need to do to buff us. And, even if you look at our talents are really kind of mediocre compared to like other other healers' talents.
Right.
None of them are really good, and none of them are really bad. They're just mediocre. I mean, you've got my Elemental Blast, which is really sweet because once I use it, I get a spirit increase of 1,000. So it means I'm never going to run out of mana. But that doesn't help my healing.
Right, and the elemental totems do help your healing, just
Yeah.
directly.
Well, and it's just even that is just a 10% boost for a short period of time. So even that's not really a whole lot.
Yeah.
And then you've got our I can't remember, it's our level 100 talent that it's a totem that pretty much takes
Extra healing.
Yeah, well, it takes
No,
a
it
certain
takes
percent
all
of
the
your direct
healing, right.
heals. Yeah, of your direct heals, and after 8 seconds, it explodes with whatever heal, or how much you collected. But even then, if you magically put, healing rain on it, it doesn't collect any of that healing.
Right,
So, I
because
mean,
that's not a direct heal.
It's not taking all your heals. It's only taking your healing wave, your
Greater,
one heal.
Yeah. All
One
that
heal I
stuff.
don't use anymore because it's
Healing
pointless.
surge.
Yeah, that thing.
Right.
It's just our talents just need a little bit of look at. It's just kind of weird.
Well, that buff will come.
I hope it's come soon.
Also on this list, Prot Warriors got a 20 to 40% buff to certain abilities. The arms mastery has... The effect has been increased by 57.1%. I don't remember what arms' mastery is. Is that like bonus attack or something? I'm not sure. And here's the big one that a lot of warriors are pissed about. Gladiator Stance now increases your damage by 5%, down from 20%.
Oh well.
Yeah.
It was OP.
You
It
were
was.
OP. I mean, seriously. I play a Windwalker monk. I should not speak right now.
Yeah, you're next.
You're next. To get
I've already
the
gotten
biggest
3 nerf bats.
You're
It's
next.
coming again. It's going to be the big hammer.
I mean, Death Knights just got them, and they're still rocking charts. I was in an LFR on what was it, Kargath today, and I was doing twice the damage of the rest of the raid in second place, and there was a Death Knight ahead of me by a whole 10%.
Okay. Jesus, a whole 10%.
Yeah,
Like I said,
it was ridiculous.
everybody's going to be extremely OP, and they're going to track it, and they're going to work it back down, except for Resto Shaman. They just started out really weak, and they still haven't figured it out yet.
Granted, I didn't even look at his gear, but he very well could have been decked out in Mythic for all I know. But
Very true. And you speak, Resto Shaman. I mentioned Windwalker monks have already gotten 3 nerf bats since the expansion released. One thing that pisses me off is that one of those bats actually affected Mistweaving, which was already an under-ish powered healing spec. And then, I mean, because they gave you 2 stances. You can traditionally heal, or you could fist weave, which, you heal by doing damage. And the damage nerf to Windwalker just completely made fist weaving useless. So,
Yeah.
I have a gripe about that still.
to be completely honest, half these changes I don't give 2 shits about. I want the heirlooms tab. That's all I want.
Well,
Give me that.
congratulations, because it's coming in next patch, along with
Well-
a plethora
Well, I
of
want it
goodies.
now. I don't want to wait. I want it
Well,
now.
you know what? I want more than an heirloom tab. My Tabard's tab.
That too.
Yeah, I want a
That
tab
too,
instead,
but-
too.
but-
Where is that?
I'm willing to get the heirloom. I want to start leveling alts. I do. Like I just started working on my druid, healing druid, by the way, and I'm just getting through saying who the hell cares about healing. But I really want the heirlooms tab more than anything because I want to be able to level these alts. Like we're on Terrellian now, and I have one character at 95, which is an alliance alt, right? My
Alliance.
level 100 rogue on Horde side, and every single character under that is level 1.
Yeah.
Like the druid I'm leveling is not even on that server. Like if I had a character that was high enough on that server, I'd do it. But I'm not leveling characters from scratch without heirlooms. It's not happening.
And
So I just want to reiterate the fact that you have a level 95 Alliance
Yeah.
character.
Yep. I boosted it. My free Draenor boost. I boosted an alliance character.
Trader.
Yeah.
I had this. There's some story that you got to finish out. Like they just
There
leave
is.
you hanging. Like for example, this goes
But-
back to Cataclysm though. But look at the Worgen storyline. Started off with the Worgens, right? And they're just kind of left hanging in limbo. Who gets the end of this story? The Horde. We got to see the end of it if you quested out in Silverpine. But there's 2 sides to every story. I want to see it, and I want to see how right the Horde is. That's all.
Yeah. I can see that. But Heirlooms tab, like we said, is coming. Here's how it's going to work. It's going to be similar to the toy box. It will be able to create a copy of the item for the character you're playing on if you own the heirloom. The heirlooms are going to scale from level 1 to 60. You can upgrade them to level 90 and then level 100 versions using gold. Enchants only apply to the copy at the time. So you have to bring it out of the tab, make a copy for the character, and then enchant it separately. You could still mail them. So if you want the enchant to stick, you're going to have to pop them around and mail them through, across or whatever.
That's fine.
But, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. And that's that. They're all everything's purchasable with gold.
I mean, as soon as that tab comes out, right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a full set of heirloom things, and then I'm going to use the new in-game Twitter function and tweet it out. And just laugh because I'm like, yep, there's my heirloom tab complete.
I wasn't going to mention the Twitter integration thing yet.
But it makes sense. Okay, so we're segueing into the Twitter thing.
Yeah.
The Twitter feature is so smart of Blizzard to do. I mean, there are add-ons that you can go in and download for your game that when an achievement pops up or something like that, it'll automatically take a screenshot. Boom, you got the screenshot as soon as it pops. Now you don't have to have that add-on or extra memory wasted on those add-ons. It's already built into the game, and you can set it up to where we just killed Imperator. Boom, there's the achievement. Boom, it's already got the screenshot. Boom, it's already on Twitter. Just like that. It's that quick.
Yep.
Any important thing that you want, boom, it's already. You get Pepe, and you want to take pictures of Pepe all day?
No.
Put them on Twitter to your heart's content. That's all that you're going to find on my Twitter feed is Pepe.
And speaking of which, there is an item that allows
I know who I'm
to summon
promptly
Pepe.
unfollowing, by the way.
Probably him.
Fine.
There's
I can spam pictures of Pepe, I'm unfollowing you.
There's a new item. It's called the transdimensional bird whistle that will summon Pepe to sit on your head and go adventuring with you.
Yes!
You must complete the achievement, What a Strange Interdimensional Trip It's Been, and I believe the task of this achievement is to defeat a bunch of bosses while Pepe is on your head, and this includes raid and dungeon bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know what I'm working on. That is like the one toy, because I think it's essentially a toy, that I actually want.
It is. It's going into the toy box.
I want it.
It is a toy for the toy box. But the Twitter integration is, like you said, Cody, smart. I love it.
It's ingenious.
All the people saying, but Blizzard could have spent time working on other things. Yeah, because it's totally the same team that works on...
No, it's very minor coding.
Yeah.
And I think I saw Lore...
taking a Twitter API and putting it in your game.
I think I saw Lore, Josh Allen, actually tweet out saying something along the line of... It probably didn't take very much programming effort. It's what you would consider low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
So...
It was there. It's like, hey,
the
guys...
API has already been made by Twitter. All Blizzard did was take that API, make a UI in Warcraft, and put it in there. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's essentially, in layman's terms, that's all they did.
More or less, I could probably tell you one programmer probably did this during his lunch break, spread across 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, he probably came into the morning meeting like, "Hey guys, what would you think about being able to tweet directly from from in game?" It's like, that's a great idea, but that's probably going to take a ton of work. And I'm like, no. Give me an hour, I'll have it working. It's probably how it went down.
Yep.
So that is great. And another new feature coming in 6.1, Dom, this is especially good for you. The Death Recap UI.
Really?
Yep.
Well, you can thank Josh Allen for that one too, probably because this
probably
dies a lot, so we need to track how many times he dies.
Here's the card that he made me for Cards Against Humanity, dying on the first 10 seconds of every pull.
Well, this will track that. Well, and again, Blizzard's kind of always done this with their with add-ons.
You get your sloth.
Really good add-ons.
Sloth.
I got my sloth too.
People make really good add-ons, like Mapster and stuff like that, and Blizzard kind of takes those add-ons and kind of integrates it into their own game. So it's just taking, Blizzard, you're copying, something that's already there. Yes, it's good though, because now it's in the game. Now you don't have to have it. It takes away from the, add-on developer, but now you're not wasting memory on add-ons.
And it's you're certain it's going to be reliable too.
Yes,
because
you're not constantly trying to update it.
Well, it's not only that, but like, yeah, I guess partially the updates, because if they change some stuff within their own system, and the add-on doesn't update quickly enough to reflect that, you're sitting there without the add-on. However, if it changes, Blizzard's Death UI is going to work very well because they're already planning around it. It's in their integration, something that they can consider. And it's not even that, but it's if they sometimes I'll have, like, what was it, the Sons of Ragnaros on the fight for the Molten Core raid that they just took out, the LFR version. I forgot back at level 60 when you attack them with direct damage abilities that it reflects back to you as melee anyway. I don't think it does for casters, I'm not sure, but for melee it does. So I would pop Killing Spree, or a Blade Flurry and Killing Spree when they were all grouped up, and I would die, and I'd be like, what the hell am I dying to? And I'd look in my my death recount, death notes, and it just says Zista died. There's no reason given.
Zista, you died.
I'm just like, yeah, I know that, thank you. And I checked my combat log, so I guess part of this is probably on Blizzard's fault, but I checked my combat log too, and it just said you died. I'm like, okay, that doesn't help me at all. And then I realized, I was like, oh wait, they reflect damage, and then I stopped dying on that encounter. But yeah.
Yeah.
So things like that, I think they'd integrate quickly. Like they'd fix that, and it would work within their own UI. So
yeah, and I have no complaints with that. Some more information about what killed me and when it happened.
I mean, that really helps raid teams too to determine, because I use death notes all the time in our raid, and I find out, if somebody's dying, like let's say one of our tanks is dying, I want to know what they're dying to. I don't. Why did they die? Did they die to not being healed? Were the healers out of mana? Okay, then there's something we can work on there. Or is it because the tank keeps standing in a mechanic? Well, if that's the case, we got to change what he's doing. So.
Anyway, good stuff. I love it. I forget what the add-on I used to use back in Wrath of the Lich King was, but it was pretty much the same thing. It gave you a detailed account of the last 15 seconds of your life, which was great for tanking, especially heroics.
Yeah, I use Death Notes right now.
It wasn't Death Notes.
I don't know. I've been using Death Notes since Wrath.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. I don't know. Also added in Raiding with Leashes 3.
Finally!
If you haven't had enough of going back and doing old raids to get pets that rarely drop off of, ancient content at this point.
I just finished Raiding with Leashes 2.
You really did. The day they announced
Friday.
This. He finished it and they announced it an hour later. Or it was data mined an hour later. But new pets from Black Temple, Mount Hyjal, and Sunwell Plateau. There's a lot in Black Temple. There are 6.
I just want to say, not only did I finish it an hour before all this went out, but I said, I can't wait until they add Raiding with Leashes 3 for Sunwell, Black Temple, and Hyjal. And then an hour later, they're like,
here it is.
Here it is.
Here you go.
Sunwell, Hyjal, and Black Temple. How did you know? I mean, it's just, you can kind of tell, just based off the pattern in which they're doing it, but...
What do you get for completing it? What's the pet? Do we know?
I'm trying to think. I saw it. I don't remember now.
Oh, it awards, I'm sorry, right here. Kuute, or Coot, whatever you want to call it. K-Ute.
Cootie.
It's a mini Naru. Cannot be used as a combat pet, so it's vanity only.
Cootie. Cutie.
But it's a cute little Naru that follows you around.
Yeah.
Lovely shard of light. People are going to hate this because 3 different pets drop off of Reliquary of Souls.
He's not bad anymore. He's not. I go in solo and he dies in like 2 hits.
You're going to be at this for weeks on end if you want to get all 3 of them from the same boss.
You have alt.
You do have alts. You're right. These are account wide.
And all these also, you can put all these pets on the auction house. So it's not a big deal. You can buy them off there. So.
And
they're gonna go for a fortune right off the bat. Like
they will.
If you're not a pet collector, like get in there first day, get in all these dungeons, do them, toss them on the auction house immediately. People are gonna want to finish the collection. If you grab it, hold on to it. It's not gonna sell. There's people that want it that day, the day it comes out. I'm not one of those people. I want all of them, but I'd rather get them on my own terms. I have never bought a pet that you could still acquire within game off the auction house. The only pets you ever see me buy on the auction house are the trading card pets, which can't get anymore.
Yep. Also, the legendary quest line will continue.
Oh, shocking. Like we didn't know that was going to happen.
Really? I had no clue.
There's gonna be a bit of lore spoilers here, because they data mined this junk out. Of course, MMO champion. Oh, Curse does that all the time. Anyway, you're going to be freeing a certain character from Warcraft history from the clutches of the Shadow Council, and said
Severian?
character... No, I'm not going to say the character. If people want to know, they can look it up themselves. Said character will become your new legendary follower when they are freed.
It's Thrall.
Interesting.
Never mind.
I have actually no idea who it is.
Anyway, one more vanity item I forgot to mention, because we did mention the Perma Pepe toy. Perma Fire Cat.
Oh, yeah, for
I get a
druids.
permanent lore?
No. This is the Cindercat from Firelands. What the
Yep.
druids could achieve with the staff or with that cool little acorn or whatever at the beginning of the instance now.
Yeah, it's a permanent toy. It drops off of Major Domo Staghelm in Firelands. It is called Fandrel's Seed Pouch.
Hmm.
Another new toy.
I'll be going in there and farming that on my druid.
Also, there's a new Rogue Transmog Mask, the Foreboding Black Mask.
Excellent. Probably won't use it because I like my missing nose.
Yeah, and I've been neglecting Twitter questions this whole show. I feel like a dick.
Or
So,
rapid fire, man.
I'm not going to rapid fire them at the end. We only got a few. I'm going to go into one right now. This one comes from Jakeinator, whose voice we haven't heard in a while. PTR notes pop up, so you know what time it is. Predicted next patch date. My guess is the 3rd or 4th of February.
I don't know. Let me...
I wouldn't mind that. I'm just gonna say February 10th.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
He's going to go February 10th. Let me look at the calendar here.
I mean, February 6th is my birthday, so February 3rd would be a nice birthday present, but I'd rather have it after my birthday. I'd rather enjoy it.
I'm going to go...
I go the first 2 weeks of February, 3rd or the 10th.
I'm going to say the 17th.
That seems too far. I
just-
think
yeah,
this is gonna
it's
come out. When does BlackRock Foundry come out?
We don't know the exact date yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
I think this patch is
It's in
gonna
March.
coincide with BlackRock Foundry.
I think BlackRock Foundry will be in it, but it won't be unlocked. I think BlackRock Foundry's already in like the game
Yeah.
and stuff like that,
It
but
is.
it's not unlocked. I
I
heard.
thought they said
I thought
Foundry was
Black-
coming in February.
I thought it was March.
They said February. Early
They
February.
said February. Yeah. So I think the patch is gonna
the
coincide
10th?
with it.
Yeah, then I would have to say 10th. I'll have to agree with. I'll agree with this on this one.
I'm going to say the patch and the opening of Foundry will be separate events. And that the patch will come the 17th, and Foundry will come 1 to 2
week
weeks
later?
Before that.
I wouldn't say before. I'd say patch on the 10th, Foundry on the 17th.
Yeah, and someone Draven in chat says, BlackRock Foundry not dependent on release of patch 6.1.
Yeah. No, I'm very aware of that.
Yeah.
They are separate, but I think they're gonna end up lining up. That's my guess on that one.
Mm-hmm. And I guess we'll cover the other question while we have it, or while we're at it. This is from Leatherface. What time frames would you like to see between expansions, and what ideas do you have for filler content in between?
Well,
Ooh.
let's see. This 2015 BlizzCon will announce the next expansion for World of Warcraft.
Game
That's
with
a-
that.
that's a
100%
given.
agree with you on that one.
Yep.
That's a given. Which means maybe we'll see the final raid already implemented into Warlords with beta for whatever expansion comes out next, whether it be the Burning Legion or whatever. Maybe in January of next year, giving us a release of the Burning Legion a week after BlizzCon 2016, like they did Warlords. So we'll have about a year of Grommash.
Right.
Grom, whatever.
I don't think we're gonna have a full year of the last raid.
I'm following Mike Shaffnet on this one. It is gonna happen. We're gonna have another year of the final raid.
Nope, it's not happening.
I don't think they're gonna ever do that. I want to believe that they're never.
It'll be shorter. It'll be shorter than.
The reason why I say that they're not going to is because you could see right off the bat that they've kind of learned their lesson already in the first raid tier. Right? They staggered the release of the first 2 raids that came out. They very easily could have come out with both High Mall and Foundry at the same time and just let people go at it.
Mists?
No, they didn't do that with Mists.
No, that's right. They released Mogushan and
Heart of Fear and Terrace all at the same time.
Yep.
And that was, I mean, think about that. That was a big raid tier. I mean, technically Mogushan was sort of like, half the raid tier.
Yeah.
But, I mean, 6 bosses in there, and then another 6, 7 in Heart of Fear, and then the 4 in Terrace. That was a lot.
Yeah. They've learned their lesson. They've staggered it already, so I think we're going to get staggered release content. I'd like to see 2 raids.
2016.
2 raids spread across the full tier, staggered. I'd rather see that for every tier than have one massive dungeon.
Yeah, very much. I agree with that.
I think there's still room for a massive dungeon.
Still pretty good.
I wouldn't mind having the 2 split for the start, having a massive one as the second tier, and then a 2 split for the third, or even a 3 split, or just give it So I was talking. I forget who I was talking to the other day, last night, I think, about this. But I think for the final tier, if they just set aside one big encounter, right? You know how we had Trial the Grand Crusade and Icecrown drop at the exact same time, right? And then a couple months later we got Ruby Sanctum, right? They could have just gave us Trial the Grand Crusade and just dropped that. Boom, have that. No, it can't. It was with Icecrown.
Yeah, it was separated.
They were separate.
Icecrown was its own patch. They had Trials was its own patch, and then Icecrown was its own patch.
Was it?
So you had a couple months because it fell with the story.
I think it came down to the fact that you had to build the Coliseum, and some servers were late. That it ended up spawning, coinciding with Icecrown.
I don't even remember how the hell that worked.
Yeah, because you had to build the Coliseum, and I'm pretty sure our server was a little late on building it.
We were beating our faces in Trial of the Crusader for a couple months.
Yeah. So I think there was a very little bit of an overlap, but I think it should have been out. I didn't like that whole building aspect of it, but even so, the stuff from Trial was kind of side grade to whatever tier was out at the time. It wasn't even bigger, better gear. It was side grade stuff. If they just left, instead of building all these side tier raids, just give it higher item levels. Because Ruby Sanctum definitely was 100% side grades from Icecrown. It wasn't higher level gear. It didn't give you.
No, it was just filler content. It was filler content, just like Sunwell was.
If you took Ruby Sanctum, right, dropped that out, gave it. Ruby Sanctum had what, 3 bosses in it?
4.
4. If you gave a whole nother tier, it doesn't have to be tier gear or whatever, not necessarily tier gear, but give gear that's better than all the tier gear, higher eye level everything, to cover every slot, and then have the last boss drop a mount, guaranteed mount or whatever. That's enough reason to keep farming it alone. People will do that.
Well, yeah. I think each expansion should have that. We didn't have it in MOP. We didn't have it in Kata, I don't believe either. We've always got that final big patch. MOP, it was SOO. Kata, it was Deathwing. Those were the big story raids.
I mean, even
and we raided those for a year.
Yeah,
there was no. They need to continue on that filler raid. Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense for story or whatever, but they were themed right to roll us into the next expansion. See, BC was Sunwell, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That rolled into Wrath. Wrath was Ruby.
Because a lot
Not really, but even with Wrath, it was Ruby Sanctum, which rolled us into the dragon aspects.
Yeah.
But for the
Perfect.
first two raids that we had, like the first two expansions or the game for Vanilla WoW, we had Naxxramas as the final raid, and I was in a top guild at the time, and we still hadn't gotten Kel'Thuzad down. We were still working on him, just when the expansion is ready to roll out. Like we got him down like really, really close. I think it was like right after the 2.0 patch, we ended up getting him down. And then Sunwell, when we were working on that for BC, we, like most guilds, got stuck at Maru, right? We didn't. I think we had a couple attempts of Kill Jaden or whatever, but for the most part, we got stuck at Maru until the 3.0 patch. Wrath of the Lich King, we had everything down. We had the heroics down, heroic Ruby Sanctum, whatever. But there was still some content there. But we were still farming Lich King for the mounts. Right?
Yep.
The raid team still needed the mounts, so that was something that we did. Yeah, it was a little boring. Yeah, but it was still something that people wanted, so we were in there doing it.
Yeah.
With
It's like the carrot and the stick effect. It's
Yeah,
something that everybody wants.
with
You know,
Cataclysm, nobody really wanted to continue to fight Deathwing. It had a mount in there, but I don't. Was it a guaranteed drop at the time? I don't think it was.
I don't think it was either.
Oh,
But
I
even
thought
though,
it was.
but even then, no one liked Deathwing that raid. Anyways, after they're going through it, no one liked Spine of Deathwing.
Oh my god, that was
Everyone
awful.
hated that encounter, that part of that fight.
Yep.
So I mean, even then, no one wanted to go back, even after 6 months, and run that thing.
And I mean,
So,
LFR had a
after-
little to do with that too, though, because
Yes.
everybody was sick of, because you ran in LFR and then you come run it. So not really much has changed here, because we're still running it on 3 difficulties a week.
Yeah.
Right,
so
but Blizzard has gotten they've gotten the idea of LFR set now, because
They do.
when
They
Dragon
do.
Soul came out, that was its
That was them. They're like, here's something. Here's the new feature for this expansion. That's all that was.
Yeah.
But to make people play it for over a year was kind of daunting and stupid, in my opinion. They needed that extra raid tier, or content, just raid content, something for people to do, whether it be a 5-man dungeon or a raid like Ruby Sanctum was, to push the story along somewhat
And-
into the next expansion. Yes, this expansion we're in Draenor or whatnot. The final boss we all know is going to be Grom.
No.
They need to have another raid tier or something to push the story along into the Burning Legion.
They said the final boss
At a
is
hint
not
or
going to be Grom.
yeah, they did. They said that
They've-
there's a surprise.
Blizzard has confirmed it now. Grom is going to be one of the last
Well,
bosses,
fine.
but he will
Then
not be the final
fine.
boss.
Make the last boss Sargeras. I don't know who it's going to be,
Cool thing.
but he doesn't die. We just start winging at him, and
It'll be
boom.
Archimon again.
Probably. But then
Or
make
Illidan.
okay, fine. Make it Archimon for the final boss in the last raid tier of content for Warlords. Then, so we don't fight for a year plus in this same instance over and over again and get burnt out again. Add another side tier or another tier. Make the final boss Sargeras. I'm just throwing a person out. I know we're not going to fight him, and he's going to be like the final boss overall. But make it like Sargeras, where you don't kill him per se. He runs, but it's perfect flow straight into the next expansion story-wise. Oh, we almost killed him, but he ran because he's a chicken shit. Now we got to go level up more, get better gear because he's the final boss in this expansion. It makes sense. It gives something for people to do instead of the monotony of running the same instance for over a year.
Yeah, and that was my problem with Siege. Now, also on this question, which I closed, filler content in between, and I want to expand that to in between raid tiers.
I think they're fine in between, to be completely honest.
But what do you think? Are we gonna get? We're gonna probably, you thinking
Wait,
like
what was the question?
filler say 6.1 is what it is. Foundry opens up. 6.2 is the new raid, and then 6.4 is the final raid. What's 6.3 going to be? Something
6.3, and they didn't do this with MOP. 6.3 needs to have new 5-mans.
that I have to.
They need to add, they didn't do this with MOP, they didn't add new 5-mans. They did it with Wrath.
And they did it
with Ice
Kata.
Cream, with Ice Cream, and they did they?
Yeah, because they redid and made ZA and ZG.
That's right, they did.
Bands, and
right.
then with us,
but they didn't do it with
Deathwing Raid. Yeah, with the Deathwing Raid, they put out 3 new 5-mans. End Time, Well of Eternity, and
that's right, they did. They didn't do it with Mop, and I think that's what really kind of burnt people out, was because they didn't have that new content in it.
I would have loved it in Mop.
6.3 needs to bring that back and add more 5-mans, because everyone may be sick now of all the 5-mans. Oh, it's stupid to run these over and over again. I've seen
that's what challenge modes are for. Run them on challenge
and that is, and I'll agree with that's what challenge modes are for. But people still want to see new and fresh content. So 6.3 needs to have 2 to 3 new 5-mans. That make sense in the story to push into the next raid tier, the final raid tier. Yeah. Just like Wrath of the Lich King did, just like Kata did. Stuff that makes sense in the story, and it's fresh, new. It gets you that. If you're missing a piece of gear, it gives you that bump in gear to get you into LFR or normal, Grom.
Yep. Fun stuff. I would love for new 5-mans, because that was a complaint in Mop. I loved not so much End Time in those ones, but back in Wrath, the Ice Crown, the 3 5-mans they released there, Forge of Souls, Halls of Reflection, the other one. Those I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Because
I'd like to see Mythic 5-mans. That's what I would like to see.
Mythic 5-mans.
Yeah.
5-mans so damned hard.
But what would that...
They already got those.
That would obviously be interesting to add.
Challenge modes are time trials, right? They're difficult, but they're time trials. Yep. I want to see a Mythic mode where it's just really fucking hard, and you can just keep bashing your head on it if you want.
I would agree with that. But like gear-wise, what gear level would you see? Would you see...
Scale it. Scale it, and then...
Well, no, I mean, because to get... It's 630, 636 heroic gear, right? In heroic Warforged. That'll get you into LFR, if not normal. Do you want to see LFR eye level gear? Because just because the way the gear level works, eye level works right now, it's 630, 636, 640 is LFR, 645 is normal, 655 is heroic, I think, something like that. I probably screwed that up. It's kind of you'd have to almost rework the eye level just to get a mythic. And they can't do it now. They can't do it now. But they could do it, say, 6.3, 6.4 with the new 5-mans. They could add, hey, here's the new feature, Mythic 5-mans.
I mean, they learned their lesson when adding a new tier into the middle of an expansion, how that worked out. We saw that in Wrath of the Lich King, where we go from Ulduar to just having one difficulty with some optional hard mode ways to do bosses that dropped a little bit different gear, to Trial of the Grand Crusader, which had separate lockouts, but then we had 10-man heroic, 25-man heroic, all different tiers. And I think 25-man and 10-man heroic ended up sharing an eye level, but it ended up being a mess.
Yeah, it'd be really... They'd have to play it really safe if they were to do it. Like I said, I do like the idea of a harder 5-man. And they could definitely do it, say between 6.3, 6.4, because you can separate that eye level out. Right now, they really can't, because their eye levels are kind of set in stone between right now and Blackrock Foundry. But after Blackrock, we're kind of open up to anything, because they're not really set, because we don't know what's coming out.
Right, exactly.
So they could initially, come out with, hey, here's a new, Mythic 5-man in 6.3 with these new 5-mans that we're introducing. Well,
I mean, there doesn't even need to be an eye level loot that drops off of it. I mean, or it could be a specific eye level that shares the same with another tier of gear. Like maybe it'll drop the same as like Blackrock Foundry normal or something,
Yeah, and it's just it's something. But you also got to remember, you got to have that carrot on the stick for players to actually want to go do Mythic 5-mans.
Yeah, but that could be the same way that they handle challenge modes. It could be transmog gear, it could be mounts, it could be
that's true
pets,
too.
it could be something.
I
Yeah.
want those weapons so bad. Screw the Yeti. I don't care about the Yeti. Those weapons are so badass.
Yep.
Anyway, two things I forgot to mention. They're small, that are coming in 6.1, and technically they're one thing, really. New loading screens for the garrisons, which are pretty good. This is the Alliance one.
Boo!
Ooh.
Yeah. And
Can you
here's
tell
the
we're very
Horde
horde biased here?
Yay!
Hooray!
Yay!
Let's see if I can find it real quick. I gotta pull it up.
So those are that.
Did you guys have a chance to do your garrison invasion quest or
I started mine
storyline
because-
quest today?
Well, I didn't do mine today, but I had lost where because I wasn't getting my garrison missions because I was like, I'm not getting garrison missions. Come to find out that I had abandoned my Ring of Blood quest a while ago when I was leveling. Didn't realize it. And went and found it, so I'm now down in Shadow Moon for that garrison mission.
Gotcha.
So I'm behind, but I'm catching up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm currently caught up on the storyline, and the Burning Blade literally invaded my garrison. Because last week we had the we got the heart of the, I don't remember what it was called, but it was basically
the big
what.
chest with the thing.
Yeah, we were talking about it might be an old god. It's some kind of Titan artifact. It might be the old god's heart or something. We don't exactly know. It might be a Titan heart for all we know. But yeah, the Burning Blade just jumped into my garrison and set that bitch on fire today. So I had to defend that from the Burning Blade, and actually Azuka came into my garrison and I had to fight Azuka. So that was really cool.
I like my picture.
I've
It-
seen that before. Alliance garrison, Horde garrison.
It represents the garrisons pretty well.
I like the Horde garrison. It's
Yeah, so
pleasant.
I'm really
fire.
I'm excited that they're fleshing out like a storyline within the garrison as well. They're carrying on the current storyline. So like we're seeing what the Burning Blade is up to. Like we were just talking last week very in depth like what are all these guys up to? Like Azuka, Blade Fury, whatever. We didn't know where her story was. We didn't know when we were going to see her again. She's fighting the garrison campaign. She just came into the garrison and stole the chest from me. My chest is no longer in the garrison now. She has it. They got away. My garrison, we put the fires out, obviously. The whole thing's intact still. But this thing that I just worked so hard with the druids last week, it's gone.
What a bitch.
But we got one more chapter in this, and I have a feeling whatever that's going to be is going to segue into the next raid tier.
Wow, okay, so, yeah, Katazahara in chat just said, it's the heart of Gorgorek, and Gorgorek is a huge Magnaron in Gorgrond. You could see his corpse underwater surrounded by Gron, Ogrons, etc.
Interesting.
I'm curious what the hell a Magnaron are. They're big.
I actually remember seeing he's frozen in stone. There's a bunch of stone creatures frozen around him. They're all in water. I didn't realize it was the same.
Yeah.
Huh. It'd be cool if he ends up being like even if it's a one-off raid encounter that they open up somewhere. Kind of like Grohl used,
One-off raid encounter, new world boss.
Maybe it'll be a raid boss for the second tier, but they already have this tier lined out for bosses, so.
Anyway, I don't know if there's anything else we need to mention tonight. I think we covered it all. Our usual public service announcement of play Hearthstone, get to rank 20 before the month's end, and you get this lovely card back. The Barad card back.
I don't want it. It's Alliance.
Shut up. Yeah. Pretty cool. I like it. I love their card backs. They're
I got it.
nice.
I'm already ranked like 18.
Well,
I
we
want-
know you got it.
Speaking of that card back, stuff like that real quick. I would love Heroes to do something like that with their
Season
rank
play,
system.
yeah.
With their season play. Now,
agree.
granted, their season play is going to obviously have something because League of Legends does something like you get the cool little border around when you load stuff like that.
Skins.
But yeah, just to see kind of like them take like the same approach with Heroes. Obviously, the whole 10 with Hearthstone, you can't lose a level between 25 and 20. You can with heroes.
Right.
But just to get that certain level or whatnot,
it would get me playing.
You get
again.
like some skin or some portrait. At the end of the season, you reach rank 15, you get this portrait. You reach rank 10, you get this portrait. Stuff like that. And I think that would be really cool.
It would 100% get me playing again. And actually, now that you mention it, I got the beta portrait. I didn't get the alpha portrait. I did not get that one.
I think the alpha portrait's in work. I think that's the one that's in
so
work.
maybe that's
beta.
the one that was bugged. Or
I'm not
that
sure
they made
which
that
one was
post about.
bugged. I think I got the alpha portrait.
I'd have to go look.
I gotta go look at it later.
Yeah.
But that's our show, I'd say.
A lot of stuff coming out for those two games.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I do have one other thing to mention.
Go for it.
There was Datamined, a veterans account.
Oh, shoot. I
Right.
talked to you about that last night.
Completely forgot about that. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So we're going to... Okay, conspiracy... what? Rapid fire?
Yeah.
Conspiracy rapid fire.
It was
WoW goes free to play, and the model is somewhat like Star Wars, where you still have a level cap, you still have a gold cap and chat restrictions, but it's free to play.
See, I think because I know you said that you looked at it, whatever, and it's got the same stuff set up as the starter account right now. I think all that happened was it's something that they're working on, and they cloned it from the starter account as their base build. And all that was reflected in the files that we received were essentially just a copied version of it renamed. So what I'm hoping, not saying that it is, what I'm hoping the veteran account is going to be is some kind of system we had. I remember back with Star Wars Galaxies, which we had a veteran system in determining how long your subscription lasted. If you had a year subscription, you got a veteran reward for the year mark. The 1 year since you've been subscribed, you were rewarded a special ship that you could fly around in or whatever. So that may be what this is. You get, if you're subscribed, whatever, your veteran account, if you're flagged for a veteran account, whatever the case is, you'll get, 1 year in, you'll get maybe a month free game time. You'll get a mount. You'll get a transmog set. You'll get a pet. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping veteran reward is.
That's possible. That's what it is. I honestly have no idea.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I'm gonna still think it's free to play World of Warcraft. They're gonna get on top of the how many people are still paying for the subscription for it. They're gonna get a lot more people to come and play for free, so their numbers are gonna grow even more.
I guess.
Well, it happens. Look at SWTOR. SWTOR is still, around. It's not doing, as good as Warcraft. Nothing's going to do as good as Warcraft. But they're still making a lot more money than they were with their subscription. It happens. You have free to play. In the long run, you make more money because people are paying for their microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it. I'm not saying they're not going to. I could see it. But until active subscription numbers decline a lot more than they are right now during active content, I don't think we're going to end up seeing it go live.
Yeah, I have to agree there. For now, I'm just going to think that the veteran account is some small reward for having a subscription active for a long-ass time.
Annual pass coming back.
Annual pass coming back. Anyway.
That's essentially what it is!
That is essentially what it is. Cody, where can they find you?
Oh, they can find me everywhere.
You can find him at Can Heels.
No, they can find me at Can Heels on Twitter.
With a Z.
It's like the new thing for every end of the show. Can Heels with a Z on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. I will be, hopefully, after a short, 5-minute, 10-minute breaks, I will be live streaming the Heroes beta right after the show. So come hang out, ask questions. I'll be playing Chen because I don't have money right now to buy for all, which is unfortunate. Tomorrow, hopefully.
Yep. Dom, your turn. What about you?
You can find me down there on Twitter, XIZTA with an underscore at the end. You can also find me on youtube.com/ASOTV podcast for some podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows and movies, where tomorrow night we will be doing the Battle of the Five Armies Hobbit podcast. And American Horror Story is coming up on its finale.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be coming soon as well.
I have to check this. Yes, there's an underscore there. I can't see on my screen if there is or not, so I had to do that. You can find me on Twitter at Philodrin down there. Also find me where Dom mentioned ASOTV Podcasts, and you can find me on US Terralian Horde side with these two crazy people and Guild Silent Chaos. If you find yourself on Terralian Horde or are just looking for a server to transfer to and a fun guild to join, look us up. We have a website, which I guess we can put in the description of this video. And
Always recruiting.
always recruiting. It doesn't matter if you want to raid or not, or you just want a place to hang out and bullshit.
We're currently 6 out of 7 normal and 1 out of 7 heroic. We're really close to getting Imperator down. And
yeah, if our raid leader wouldn't take 20 minutes to explain the Imperator fight, we would have definitely had him down on Saturday. So if he can get his act together.
We just recruited 2 more healers, but we're actually looking to start up a second raid team. It's in the talks. So if you guys are interested, definitely sign up.
Sign up, look us up, come join us.
Even if you're not sure, grab one of us aside, pull us aside, get us on battle tag, and you can come in, sit in on a raid with us one week and see if it's for you.
Never turn anybody away. Alright. Only one rule, don't be a dick.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even listen to my raid leader. I play Hearthstone while he's talking.
I know, right?
You're not allowed to have opinions either.
Have a good night, everybody.